Next piece, we're going to go into attaining the positions. And now that we have control, it's attainment of getting the knee ride, knee on belly, and what I'm really thinking about is different ways to do it. And again, there's tons and tons of variations. I couldn't possibly even think up, if not cover, all the different types of variations for getting into this position, because there's many situations and scenarios for how that might occur. But we're going to go into, again, trying to cover as much territory with simple concepts as possible. And essentially the way I think of it is there's either the imposed and forced ways where he might even know exactly what I'm trying to do but he can't stop it, and there's going to be the opportunistic or recovery moments where I basically transition out of his movement and his attempts to do an escape or something like that, or his attempts to pull off some sort of maneuver from bottom, where I attain that in the transitional moment. Okay. First, we're going to start off with imposing it, because I always want to have control first, not just rely on a window of timing. Timing's great, right? But it requires more skill. I'd really like to be able to control him, even if he's much more athletic than I am. Basically, piece by piece, dial in the position, and have him say, "Oh, he's trying to put a knee across my stomach," and you still do it, okay? Because that means you can be far less fit and far less strong, athletic, explosive, all that stuff, and still get the position. So from here, say I'm in a typical side control. For right now, we'll assume he does have a gi. I treat it quite similarly if he didn't, but right now I will make use of the cloth. So what I'm going to do is bring my hand into what we call a pry bar grip position. So what that means is you're going to see my knuckles of my hand appear on the far side of his head from where my arm is, right? So not here, but here. So now I can see the ridge of my knuckles on the far side. My thumb is inside his collar. Okay. At the same time, while I'm maintaining all my proper side control posture in here, I'm going to bring my forearm across. Okay, if my arm were on this side, I'd be bringing it across here. Okay, so I lead with the elbow, or if it's on this side, I would lead with the fist to make sure there's no big space for him to bump and get an underhook and things like that. And then what I'm going to do is just make a grip in here with whatever I can do. And I bring my elbow to my own rib cage so they touch. So you see right there, there's really no space. I've got a grip on the pant leg, and basically my forearm is acting like the knee ride itself. When my shin is across, I'm taking all that space away. And now even if Ryan were trying to fit his arm underneath there, okay, this is really not a big spot for it to go. Okay. The problem here is that if I just had something like this and I try and bring my knee up, the moment my torso creates this opening down here, he's going to be connecting that elbow and knee together, and I won't be able to fit that in. He's going to block it out first because he knows what's coming. So from here, even if I did my setup correctly, now I start to come up, right? He's blocked it out. So what I'm going to do is this. From this position, okay, the beauty of a small motion that takes the spine out of alignment. Okay, so from here, pry bar. Okay, so notice when I do this, I've got this grip, palm facing away, thumb inside the lapel or the collar. I'm going to raise my elbow, and it's up high on his temple. Okay, not so high on the top of his head it's going to pop out, but also not down here on his jaw. What I'm really trying to do is not only turn his head slightly, but I'm trying to actually make his head slightly go out of alignment. This isn't going to neck crank anybody, but he will feel how compromised that is. And now from here, I'm going to make just a slight cheat, like this with my body, kind of following what my elbow's doing. And now let's check out as Ryan goes to block me out. Okay. So that little window of this and then my slight angle allows me to drop that in, basically coming inside my own elbow, and he never gets a chance to bring that in. Okay, I've tested this out many times. It really works well. Little slight miscalculation or something, you get a little lazy with it, people can still bring that knee in, but if you actually do just what I'm showing, it's very hard for them to connect the elbow and knee together totally without giving you a window to slide that knee in. So this would be a really good way to impose it. So one more time. From here, thumb in, okay? Bringing this across, and really making sure I never give up that space, and I bring this in so my elbow is all the way down, touching his hip bone, and also attached to my rib cage. Okay, so you're going to seal that space off first. You might even have your partner try and get an underhook dug in there for a minute too. Should really not have any place to go. Now from here, pry bar. Okay, so I want to make sure my knuckles are on the far side of his head. Pry bar high up towards the temple, slightly tilt. So you see I'm starting to, like if this were the hands of a clock, right, I'm starting to tilt down towards 5 o'clock just slightly, but my elbow is still on my rib cage. And now from here, I bring that in. And now you would decide, you know, am I playing this same position? This goes right into that sport position we talked about. Or once I'm driving this through, do I come up and I play here or here? Okay? That's all up to you. This is just how to start to get the knee cutting across, and then you take it from there with whichever style of knee ride you prefer. Okay? Let's try it.